Hi and welcome to this Moho animation tutorial where I'm just learning how to use Moho, and we're gonna just keep going down the tutorial and find out how this program works. And as I do, I'm going to just try to experiment with the way that I would see how to use these tools to do what I want to do. Hi, my name is Escobar. I'm a storyboard artist from the Simpsons television show. I've been working on the show for over 20 years now, and I'm here to empower you. And today, apparently I'm going to be working on bone setup. That's what the tutorial says here. So see, bone setup. So I think it's going to give us a character that looks like this. I'm going to download it, and it's awful. It looks like the worst character ever. I may actually have to change it around. I don't know. I'll see how this all works, and then I'll do my thing with this. All right, so it says this tutorial builds on the results of the previous two teachings. Blah 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 blah. Okay, bones are in. Okay, this file can be found. Okay, bones are an important tool. You can use Moho to help you animate easier. If you think of drawing a Moho like the ones you made in previous tutorials as soft rubber, then the bones can be thought of as stiff wires inside the rubber that helps you move the objects. Okay, blah blah blah. Bones are not absolutely necessary for animation, really. Surprise. They are very helpful for animating certain types of motion, as well shown in this and the next tutorial, but there are other ways to animate in Moho as well. As you gain experience using Moho, you'll learn when bones are appropriate and when they are not. Okay, so import an object, launch Moho, and open the project from the last tutorial. Okay, I already did that. As you build a Moho project, there are times you may want to reuse objects you created before. There's an easy way to do this, and we'll use it now to add a character to the project. So select File, Import Moho Objects. Alrighty, let's do it. Select File, Import. We got Export. Import, here it is. Moho object 6. Okay, basics folder. Open the file that says tutorial extras. Dialog will open and ask you. Okay, so tutorial extras, here we go. Okay, so open. And I'm assuming it's going to be Frank. And okay. Oh, but let me see. So it's free. Okay, preview. Frank is fully drawn. Okay. And there he is. Now this is just ugly. Is there anything okay, so Frank, all of Frank is there, like that. Just clicking stuff. I want to open up Frank. Is there anything I can do to fix Frank? Eesh, so horrible. Okay. So Frank is just it's just a let's do with Frank what was it that we used to do? What is it that lets us grab the points? I already forgot. Yeah, the transform tool. That's what I was trying to use. Okay. Boy. Frank. Don't like you, Frank. You're really ugly. That's what I want. Can I delete points? See, all of this stuff is... I'm trying to do advanced stuff now that I haven't been taught. I just don't like the way Frank looks. So you can delete individual points, but why doesn't it let me? Why is it deleting everything when I delete specific points here? Do we really need this ugly hair? Keep doing that when I really want to just move this around. Okay, so Frank looks a little better for me. But I seriously do not like these knees. Why do we have these? Why do we need them? I want to make Frank a little cuter here. Look at all these spots. Like I said, and now I'm just doing just with the little bit that I know of the program. Okay, almost something that I'd like to work with. This has got to go. I don't know what the heck's going on here with this. And then this isn't working because the it's like it's just too flat. Like yeah, I don't know. Kind of want to do this. Kind of want to do this over. Oops. What the? Don't want that. Okay, you're out. You're gonna have to go out too because you're not supposed to be. Okay. Now, how do I do the stroke again? What was it? From the last tutorial. Okay. It's this, right? What about that line I just added? I can't, it doesn't add an extra line there? Weird. Okay, I'll just delete these for now until I figure out how to do this stuff properly. Okay. Let's see. Okay, my Frank is going to look a little different. It's too bad. I'm going to have to figure out how to make my own characters because this is terrible. All right. Dang, is there a way to just grab the whole character and move it? I'm gonna have to figure out a way to do that. I'm sure there has to be an easier way to move these characters around. Okay. Alrighty, Frank. Let's get on with the lesson. Let's give Frank some bones to make him easier to animate. In the layer window, click the new layer button. In the pop-up menu, choose bone. Rename this new layer skeleton. Alrighty. Bone. Skeleton. Okay. Now, drag the Frank layer up into the skeleton layer. Ooh. This step is very important. You will know that you're dragging the Frank layer to the correct place when the skeleton layer becomes highlighted. Right. Finally click the skeleton layer to make sure it's active. Okay. When this is done, the layer panel should look like all this. So should look like this. Like this. Okay. Does it look like this? Oh, look at that. It is in there. Alright. Make sure the layer skeleton is selected. In the layer panel, click the eyeball icon on the left side of the tree. That's how the clean clouds temporarily hide them. Alright. Gone. Alright. Finally, used the zoom tool in the components in the content. The pan and zoom tools to zoom in on the content of this layer. Your window should look like something like this. They're ugly, Frank, but my Frank is much cuter. Okay. Okay, with the skeleton layer selected, add a bone to Frank by selecting the Add Bone button, which is somewhere, over here. So this is Add Bone, Select Bone, and Sketch Bone. So Add Bone button. With the skeleton layer, select Add Bone tool and click. Just add. Okay, so by selecting the Add Bone tool and click and drag upwards as shown below. Okay. Click here and drag up. This will be the main control bone. You can think of it as Frank's spine. It should look like this, okay? Yeah, it looks right. Click and drag out 3 bones as shown below. It's important that you draw these 3 bones in order from top to bottom. Thigh, shin, foot. Okay. Are they coming off of each other? When a bone is selected, it is drawn in the highlighted color red. When you add a bone, it becomes the child. So did I do it? I'll try it again. When you add a bone, it becomes the child of the current selected bone. The parent-child relationship for bones means that the child can move around without affecting the parent, but if the parent moves, the child will move with it. This is why it's important to draw the previous 3 bones in order. The thigh bones connected to the spine bone. And then in order to do that, I select like this. The other one. So okay, let's add a bone, but first we need to select the spine again so that the second leg will also be attached to it. Using the select bone tool, click on the spine, select it. So that's what I did. That was the select bone tool. Next, use the add bone tool to pretty much do what you did in the other leg. Okay. Let's keep going. Okay. There's a bone tool that lets you test how your skeleton structure is working. Let's try that now. Select the Manipulate Bones tool. And click and draw any of the bones you created. Try dragging several of the bones around to see what happens. Alrighty. Okay, so everything is getting manipulated here. Okay. Notice Frank automatically moves with the bones. You may have also noticed that Frank looks quite squishy when you move either of his legs. His head changes shape as well. The next step is to clean this up a bit by telling Moho which part of Frank should move with which bone. So, when you are in frame 0, go back to 0. When you're in frame 0, the Manipulate Bones tool doesn't permanently move the bones. Click the Select Bone tool. And all the bones will snap back into their original place. Fancy. Okay. Adjust the bone strength, which is, I'm assuming, which I know that that's the little ghost thing here. So when you use the bone layer to control the character, every bone in the skeleton has some influence over every part of the character. We saw that Frank, when you moved one of the legs, even the head moved. This influence is the strongest closest to each bone, so the head only moves a little bit, not as much as the leg itself. So We don't really want to see Frank's head move much at all when his legs move. Luckily, there's a way to control this. Bone strength. Each bone has a strength. Okay, so select the bone strength tool and take a look at the bones. So this is the bone strength tool. Each bone has a semi-transparent, blah blah blah. How do I do this? These regions show you the influence of the bones, blah 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 blah. Come on. With the bone strength tool active, click and drag side to side on each of the bones. Oh, okay. There. Okay. I don't know if I'm doing it too thin. Okay. So I decide to adjust each strength. The goal here is to adjust the region for each bone so that it just encloses the corresponding section of Frank's body. For example, the region around the shin should just enclose the shin and not much more. Don't worry about it being too precise. Pretty close is good enough for Frank's head. For Frank's head, don't make the bone region enclose the entire head. That would make the bone too strong. Adjust the bone strength so that it looks approximately like the following. Okay, so maybe let's see, this could be a little wider, this could be a little wider, this could be a little wider. Okay. And test the bones again. Better, but it's still influencing the top up here. A lot. Better, but still influencing it. It's weird. Why does it still influence it? Why is that getting influenced? That's weird. Am I ever gonna get this right? Doesn't make any sense. That don't make no sense. Okay, so let me see. Well, that was it. That's the bone rigging thing, and I'm kind of... it's okay, I guess, so far. I kind of get it. but I would still need to play around with this to figure out how the not to have this stuff influence so much of. I would have to figure out how to manipulate the group of using invert click. Hold Alt to rotate a single bone. Okay, yeah, but I don't even know what that means. Yeah, so it's okay. Like I just don't like that this is getting influenced a little bit. When I move this around, his head moves, and I don't know how to not have that happen. So yeah, but interesting. That's how you put bones together, and it's pretty simple. It's just, you know. All right, so I guess that's it for me for this bone thing. In the next tutorial, looks like it says animation, so we're going to start doing animation. We kind of did a little bit of that already in the quick start, but I'm sure it's going to get more involved. But I think the bone thing was interesting, and I did a lot of manipulating on the character based off of the very little information that I got from the other stuff. And it's kind of clunky, I have to say. I don't like the way you select things. There has to be a better way than just every little dot. I still have to get used to it, but we'll see. We'll see as I learn this and I'm able to manipulate stuff more. I'll be able to wrap my head around how to manipulate characters and stuff like that. So, all right. I hope this has been helpful. If this video is helpful in any way, I encourage you to go over to my Patreon and support me there. I do tutorials there, but depending on your tier, I also do one-on-one coaching. Right now, the coaching slots seem to be full, but I could put you on a waiting list. When the slots are open, then you can come in, and then we can have a one-on-one, and I can teach you how to further and improve your drawings. You also get PSD files, and you get high-res JPEGs of all the artwork that I do. You also get early access to all the videos that I produce. You get exclusive videos that I produce, and coming soon, you're going, depending on your tier, you're going to get full access to course videos that I'm going to be producing. So I highly encourage you to support me on Patreon. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time.